So hey guys, welcome back to our channel MCAT Tutorials. In this video you will learn the basics of designing of spur gear in Siemens Unigraphics NX software. We will also learn how to make an assembly of such compound gear trains and perform the motion study analysis on these gears. Now if you have a mechanical background, you will know that the most of the mechanisms in machines, whether it's a small wristwatch or even a Ferrari or even a locomotive, use these gears to transmit motion. So watch this video till the end to learn what are the parameters required while designing these gear trains. Now before starting this video, I will request you guys, if you are new on the channel, please click the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon to receive the notification whenever we upload another useful tutorial. So without any further delay, let's get started. Go to new and rename your file. I have named it as pinion because it's the usual term that we use for the gear that usually drives the compound gear train. So select the destination and click OK. Now for this tutorial we need to use the GC toolkits in the NX that is used for design of gears and springs. By default this feature is hidden in NX, so for enabling this feature I have provided a link in the description box below. Go check that out and you will know how to enable this feature. Create gear and select straight gear and external gear. Because we are creating spur gears for this tutorial, we will be creating helical gears for the next tutorial. Now name your gear and input the module 0.5 and the number of teeth would be 50. That would be 50. So the relation between module and number of teeth are the pitch circle diameter divided by the number of teeth. So keep that relation in mind because that would be useful later on. The pressure angle that I've used is 14.5 degrees, so that's a pretty standard angle that is used in the manufacturing of gears. Now select the vector of the gear and the position at which you want to create the gear. I have selected origin. Now your gear is ready. Now go to sketch and select a face of this gear. We need to create a hub on this gear, so draw 3 circles. .5 mm. The last one is 20 mm. Okay. So finish this sketch. Go to extrude and select the middle region. Yeah, this one. Need to the end distance would be 4 mm and in the boolean section subtract this geometry. Okay, so we need to do the same step on the other side of this gear as well. So only difference would be that the starting distance would be 10 mm and the end distance is 6 mm, and remove the center area. Okay, now the first gear is ready. It's time to create the second gear. Go to new and again rename the file gear 1. Now using the GC toolkits makes really easy to create the geometry of gears and springs, so I highly recommend it for the beginners to enable this feature to create gears and springs in NX. So for the next gear the number of teeth are 75 and the module is same. Okay, also the pressure angle values has to be same. Keep this in mind that the module and pressure angle in a compound gear train or any other gear train does not change. So again we are creating the hub of this gear. same diameter for the shaft, and the external circle diameter would be 30 mm. Again, finish the sketch, go to extrude and remove the middle section. So as I've shown the assembly in the starting of this video, we need to create another gear on the back side of this gear, which is going to be meshed with the fourth gear in the assembly. So create another gear. The number of teeth in this case would be 30. Now the pressure angle is also 14.5 degrees. The only difference is just reverse the direction of the vector, because we are creating the gear on the back side and the position is same, the origin. Now we need to cut out the position for shaft, so cut out that section. Okay, so first let's unite these bodies so that one feature would be enough to create a hole in the center. Okay, so next gear is also ready. Now it's time to create the last gear. Gear 3, click OK. Now this would be the largest gear of the all in the assembly. So the module is again 0.5 and the number of teeth is 100 in this case. So keeping the module same is really very important in a gear train, because the teeth must have the same module so that they can mesh with each other properly. So it's really necessary to keep the module and the pressure angle same in all the gears in the assembly. So now for the creation of the hub of this gear, select this face, sketch, again draw 3 circles, 10 mm and 7.5 mm. The external circle would be 45 mm diameter. Okay, so we need to cut some more circles from within this geometry. So create a 10 mm circle with a distance of 14 mm from the origin, and create 7 copies of this circle in the circular pattern. Now we are going to cut out all these sections. So select extrude, select all these circles and the center one and remove them. Okay. Okay, so now select this region and go 2 mm in the gear and remove that area, and again do the same step on the other side as well. Okay, so now we have created all the gears for the assembly. We only need to create the base on which all these gears are to be mounted. So go to new and create new file. So go to sketch and select XZ plane. Create a L shape using the rectangles like this. Now define the dimensions. 5 mm, 30 mm. This one is also 5 mm, and this one I would like to keep it as 50 mm. Okay. Now go to geometric constraints and move this geometry on the origin using the coincident relation. Close. Now extrude this geometry, symmetrical value, distance 40 mm. Okay. Now we need to create 3 circles on the face of this geometry to create shafts for all our gears. So create 3 circles randomly and define the diameter as 7.5 mm each. Now you need to keep in mind the relation that I told you, that the pitch circle diameter is equal to module into number of teeth. So each circle will be the radius of the first gear adding the radius of the second gear apart from each other. So keep that in mind. So this horizontal distance is 10 mm and the vertical distance would be 20 mm. 20 mm. Okay. Now we define the distance between the 2 shafts. So select horizontal. Okay. Now this one would be 31.5. You can calculate this the module of the first gear was 0.5 and the number of teeth were 50. So the radius of that gear is 50 divided by 4, so that is 12.5, and the radius of the second gear is 18.75. so adding these 2 values you have 31.25 and we have taken a clearance of 0.25 mm between these gears. So go ahead and draw this geometry using these dimensions and extrude all these 3 with a distance of 30 mm. Now the base is also ready, so let's go to new and select the assembly this time and name the assembly. Import all the parts. I am importing all the parts at the origin location. It's your wish where you want to locate them. I will import all of these at origin, and then after that I will move those components at their positions. So now go to move components and select each part and drag them to their respective locations. Now we need to go to the assembly constraints, select touch align and infer center / axis. So what this does is align the cylindrical bodies according to their axes. So it makes the axis as collinear. So select the center lines of the 2 bodies and then it will align the bodies itself. After aligning them, now we need to define the distance between the gear and the base body. So go to distance and select this face and this one. The distance between them is 10 mm. And for the second gear it's 10 mm again, and for the last gear it will be 2.5 mm because that gear has to be meshed with the third gear, which is behind the second gear. So now the assembly is also completed. Now it's time to move to the motion analysis of the tutorial part. So go to applications and there you will see the motion simulation tool. Yeah, this one. Select motion. It asks me to save the file. Okay, yes. Now we need to create new simulation. Right click, new, and select analysis type as kinematic. Now by default it gives you these default joints. It's your choice to use them or not. I'm not going to use them. We will define them manually. So first we need to create the links on individual paths. So we will start with the base part first. So we need to fix that link. So in the settings column, click this box and select the base link, and unselect the box and select all the gears and apply. Okay, so now we need to define the joints. So select revolute from the list and select the link. So in this case we need to select the gear or the pinion. So you can select from this list or just by clicking the gear. Now we need to define the origin. Now this is really important. So from the drop down box we need to select the circle center and select this edge and specify the vector, this direction. So this is the direction around which it revolves. So enable the snap links and define the base link as, of course, that the base link that we have defined. So make sure that the origin of both the links is same. So and specify the vector in this action. Okay, apply. Now repeat this step on all the gears. So what this does is it enables the NX to know what kind of joint is there in between these links that we have defined earlier. And why do we need to make sure that the origin is at the center of the circle of this gear? Because the NX will take that point as the axis of rotation. So it's really necessary to correct that position and click OK. Okay, so now we have defined all the joints. This time we need to define the gears or the couplers, but first we are defining the driver gear. So I have given an initial velocity to the pinion gear is 60 revolutions per minute. So now we need to define the couplers. So go to gear couple and select the two joints in between which are having this contact as gears. So select the first link, first joint as joint 2 and second is joint 3, and we need to define the gear ratio in between them. So that is the number of teeth of first gear divided by the number of teeth of second gear. So in this case it's 0.66. Click OK, and you will see these two circles appearing almost same as the diameter of these two gears. So if that doesn't happen, maybe you have done something wrong, so make sure of that. And now we have defined the second gear relationship between the gear joint 3 and joint 4, and the gear ratio was 0.3 because the number of teeth is 30 on the behind gear and 100 on the second gear. So now go to solution and run this simulation. So you can adjust the time duration of the simulation. So I have kept it 15 seconds, and you can define the number of steps. So what it basically does is it breaks down that time duration in these number of steps. So the more the number of steps, the more smooth your solution might look. So the rest of the parameters are by default. Click OK. So now we have solved this simulation, and now it's time to see this animation. Okay, isn't it wonderful? So I hope you guys have liked this video. If you have any suggestions for us, or if you have any requests for the tutorials you want to see on this channel, please comment down below and share this video with your friends, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed till now. I will see you guys in the next video.